Now continuing with operations with numbers in scientific notation. I want to simplify. I know I didn't write this in the directions, but I also want to write my answer in scientific notation. Now we're dividing two numbers in scientific notation. 7.5 times 10 to the 10th divided by 1.75 times 10 to the 4th. Just like with multiplying numbers in scientific notation, I could divide these common parts, the A parts. So you might need a calculator. That's what I'm using right now. I'm dividing 7.52 by 1.75. And then that's equal to 4.297. So I'm going to write it as 4.3. Just round it in the nearest tenth. There's actually more decimals after that. 4.297142857. But I'm going to round it to 4.3. And then for these parts right here, it's 10 to the 10th divided by 10 to the 4th. We have the same base, which is 10. So if you remember the property of exponents that we could use, we could subtract the exponents. Subtract the numerator minus the denominator. So times 10 to the 10 minus 4 is 6. This number works out nicely, or these numbers work out nicely, because once I divide, each of the parts are already in scientific notation. I don't need to change it like I did on the previous couple of examples. And now on the next example, dividing two numbers in scientific notation, you do it similar to the last example. Here's where we start. We could divide the 9.97 by 8.01. And again, I'm going to round that. It's about 1.24 times 10 to the, you would subtract the exponents here. Subtract the denominator from the numerator. Negative 3 minus 5 is negative 8. Even though for every other expression with exponents, we never left a negative exponent when we were simplifying, you actually would leave a negative exponent only in scientific notation. So you don't want to rewrite this as 1 over 10 to the 8th. Numbers in scientific notation are really the only time that you should have a negative exponent for the base 10. Again, this kind of worked out nicely when I divided 9.97 by 8.01. This part is greater than or equal to 1 and less than 10, so I don't need to change it like we did with multiplying numbers in scientific notation. And then on the next example, still dividing numbers in scientific notation. So the first part is we could divide the 6.41 by 7.9. If you divide that, you get about 0.811. And then 10 to the 5th divided by 10 to the negative 6th. You would subtract the exponents. It's 5 minus negative 6, so that's the same as 5 plus 6, since you're subtracting a negative. So that would be times 10 to the 11th. Now what we end up with is a number not quite in scientific notation. So we need to change this. I need to change the 0.811. So there's one non-zero number to the left of the decimal. So I move the decimal one place to the right to change that. So it becomes 8.11. Remember the left add, right subtract rule. In this case, I move the decimal to the right. So I'm not using the left add rule. I'm using the right subtract rule. I move the decimal one place to the right. So I subtract one number from the exponent here. So times 10 to the 11 minus 1 is 10th. That's the number in scientific notation now.